Hey, what's up, guys? This is Church of Caboose, and welcome back to my corner of the internet. And also, I'm back, y'all. Left a while ago for some Marine Corps officer training. Ended up getting hurt, and they had to medically discharge me or remove me from training, and I'm not allowed to go back because of the severity / some things they found. So I'm like, hey, I'm going to do a video, and I figured what's a better video to do than can you hop in Destiny with Season of the Chosen if you are behind? That just kind of seemed like a natural thing to do because I am about a month behind. It's probably like 3 weeks or so, and so that's going to be this video. If you enjoy the video, make sure you guys subscribe to my channel as well as click the like button. And if you happen to be in need of a clan just to get some help with raids, PvP, whatever, feel free to join the eventual Discord server and we'll get you on into a clan. We got support for Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. Basically, our only rules are don't be a jerk and be of 18 years or older. If I had to sum it up, that's it. All right, so let's go ahead and get on into the actual video. As I mentioned earlier, I am about 3 weeks behind what is going on inside of Season of the Chosen, so I am playing a little bit of catch up, and I figured, hey, I probably am not the only one. You might be watching this because perhaps you tried out Beyond Light and you were perhaps less than happy with how it came out, or maybe you're just like me and got a little bit busy and you're kind of curious, like, should I try and give this thing a go? And so far, I would say yes. There are mostly things that are in the game that don't necessarily hinge on having to have an insane power level. And if you are someone that needs to get some power up before you're able to do activities you want to do, so far, it is not taking me very long to catch up. Granted, I am saying this as a guy who was max power from Beyond Light, which is 1,260 gear power, and now most things that are on the top end of things are around 1,300 power. And I've been able to do pretty much everything because the content with how it's set up so far was doable by having a couple of friends just help me out. For example, there is an exotic scout rifle that requires you to do a heroic version of a story mission in order to attain the catalyst. And that is a mission that's about 1,300 power. I had no clue really what I was doing, and I was way under power, but still with relative ease, I had 2 friends from the clan, or at least associated to the clan, that were able to help get me through without having to try it a whole bunch of times. So that's kind of what I mean by power isn't necessarily going to be a huge factor. Now, of course, there's going to be some things like raids where, the more power you have, the better it is. And that's just something to kind of keep in mind. But if you just want to talk about just playing the game, power should be okay. A lot of the things that I have going on are matchmaking. Battlegrounds is kind of the new activity that's going on. And so I think that's kind of a next good place to start about. So the actual content for this season seems to me so far, after around a day or so of playing and doing quite a bit of catching up, seems to be actually relatively kind of fun. Now, I've done around 5 or so, maybe more like 6 of these battlegrounds, and something that I think is going to make it more engaging for me is that it is more or less a horde mode. There's lots of enemies, there's sometimes champions if you use the playlist option for these battlegrounds instead of loading in straight to it from the directory, from like a planet or something of that nature. And so it's just kind of a good time. It's not necessarily as amazing as we had Escalation Protocol, but on the other side, it's matchmaking. So if you don't have to have a team, you don't have to sit in a planetary environment just waiting for people to spawn into your zone, which makes it a lot better for an activity. One good example of a failed public event, like seasonal activity, was from last year's Season of the Worthy when we had that Seraph Tower event, and this is definitely a much better event. Some other stuff that we got coming on is like Emerald Engrams are back. You can focus them so you can get different kinds of armor and weapons and like different seasons or different weapon types, that kind of thing. And that's pretty cool. I kind of dig it that we got that thing back. However, these Umbral Engrams do seem to still drop at a really high rate, which from the last time we had these engrams, which I believe was Season of the Rivals in summer of 2020, kind of drove me nuts because I felt like I was just deleting tons of Umbral Engrams from the Postmaster, and sometimes I would lose potentially valuable loot because I happened to pick up an engram. So that could get a little bit annoying rather quickly, but at least when you're starting off and you're trying to do the power grind, it's a relatively nifty way. And if you're trying to acquire new loot, it's going to also be rather useful. I don't think it'll get that annoying until you have all of the loot acquired, or you just don't really care about that loot anymore. Something else to keep in mind is just recently in a state of the game kind of a thing that Bungie put out there is that sunsetting is going to kind of go away. I know that's a huge thing that kicked a lot of people out from Beyond Light. They're like, oh my gosh, I can't use my old guns, or if I get farm for the God Roll Heritage Shotgun from Deepstone Crypt, I just have to get another one in order to use it for Witch Queen. That's going away. Anything that you can currently acquire and make to the max power is going to be, my understanding from the live event and like Dato's videos and stuff, it's going to be uncapped. So you're going to be able to make it the max thing for as long as you want so far. It looks like Bungie, took quite the hit with the sunsetting, and maybe at Bungie headquarters, they were split on who was like, hey, I think sunsetting is stupid. And someone else or another group was like, no, sunsetting is great. And now they seem to have settled on sunsetting wasn't a good idea. And so they've kind of adjusted it a little bit. I think that's worth noting because I know sunsetting was a huge bummer for a lot of people in Beyond Light. So there you go. That's something that would perhaps keep you more interested. Unfortunately, as of now, it does not seem, from my understanding, and I can be wrong, so let me know down below if I am wrong, that things like ritual weapons or the pinnacles like Recluse, Mountaintop, Not Forgotten, that kind of thing, are not going to fall into the category of stuff that can get power increased. But if I'm wrong, let me know. Personally, I really hope they get thrown into there if they're not currently slated to be able to be max power, because for most of us, or at least for me, it took lots of work to get Not Forgotten. It'd be great to be able to use it in power leveled events. Some other things to kind of keep note that are rather interesting is with Trials of Osiris, they're doing some revamps on how 3 peeking is going to work. They're going to disable emotes and get rid of it where you can switch to swords. So that should get at least rid of some of the frustration. But of course, Trials is going to still be an uber sweatfest. But maybe, just maybe, the pace of the rounds will increase because you can't just camp and just hope to God that you can see everyone and just abuse the crap out of your abilities. You might have to actually, play the game a little bit instead of making every round be like overtime or something of that nature. Now, for the actual playing of it itself, so far, I'm actually enjoying it. It's not taking me super long to catch up, and this is kind of going to be the main point of the video, because if you're trying to catch up from behind, you might think, oh my gosh, there is so much stuff to do. But if you take this whole little tidbit I want to give you guys, it might not be as daunting. So when I first hopped in, my wife was telling me, she's like, yeah, you got this cool scout rifle. There's this new ritual grenade launcher, and that's not the Mountaintop 2.0. We've got the exotic bow with its catalyst, and of course the scout rifle also has a catalyst. And I was like, whoa, that's so much stuff. And to be honest with you guys, in 1 4 5-ish hour session of playing, I pretty much got all of that stuff acquired. Now, I didn't finish the catalyst yet, but as far as getting the scout rifle and then acquiring the catalyst and then getting the bow and acquiring the catalyst, that's not taking nearly as long as I thought it would. And there's probably some ways you can kind of double up on stuff a little bit. So when we have these Iron Banner weeks, right? If you're playing from behind, you want to get your power up. So play Iron Banner. This is the first time of Iron Banner where I've actually been underpowered. And I'm still, I'm ranking up power rather quickly. I went from around 1,260 power base to I'm getting close to 1,270-ish with only a handful of hours of playing. I've also managed to acquire pretty much all the new exotics other than armor so far, and I'm making great progress on the grenade launcher. So what I suggest you guys to do is play through that story mission. It's going to be where you have to do stuff with the battlegrounds, and you're talking to the Cabal Queen lady that's Callus's daughter. And you get through those, you'll get a little bit of power, as well as unlock most of the new content. Then what you want to do is just kind of acquire those various new weapons. So do the arms dealer strike to get the little side thing to get the scout rifle. If you want guides, just let me know, or look up someone like Dato. He's a great guide for it. And make sure you get start just kind of keeping in mind the bow catalyst, because you can do these things at the same time. Now, to get the scout rifle catalyst, you have to do it on heroic, which I kind of mentioned some earlier. So just keep in mind you might need a couple of pals to carry you, or just get your power up and then get a couple of pals to just kind of help each other out. Then you can just do Iron Banner, and you're able to work on that grenade ritual launcher at the same time as this other stuff. Now we've also got a new aspect, so you can get that aspect. It took me about 20 minutes, and so I'm also working on the new fragment inside of the Crucible because I'm doing a lot of Iron Banner this week. So this is kind of a way you guys can try to pair up some stuff at the same time. If you want to do the bow catalyst, just use the bow while you're doing Iron Banner, and you'll be working on Iron Banner bounties, the bow catalyst, as well as that new fragment that you can acquire all at the same time, which is rather nifty and pretty useful. So if I had to kind of sum up what's going on so far, is you can totally play this new season and be able to catch up rather quickly. The power bump isn't insane. Blue items are going to still probably level you up to a certain point. I'm guessing it's going to be around 1290 or 1300 because I believe the max power you can have is 1310. So that should track with the history so far of Destiny. So you guys should have no problem. Unfortunately, once again, we do have exotic armors that are tied to these solo, master, or legend lost sectors, but that's just more of a power game. Once you get the power, really not that tough. If you want to do it underpowered, it gets rather difficult. So hopefully this kind of gives you guys a kind of a decent idea of should you consider trying to play back in. I know there were some fantastic quality of life changes that were made. I personally really dig how the vendors work now. You get like more meaningful rewards. Like I know when I ranked up for Shaxx, I got a Prime Engram that was like a 6-7 power boost as far as like the item that dropped. I know that how like the different screens for activities are set up are much more clean. It's like, for example, Crucible, when you pull that up, you can actually see all the playlists and the names for what that play mode is right underneath it. So you don't have to scroll over it anymore. You can just pull up the directory, go to Crucible, and be like, oh, look, here's all my options, and just go from there. The same thing applies to the Nightfalls. Gambit's going to be kind of And the last thing I think I should mention to you guys is that rocket launchers got a buff. So if you're tired of using only swords or like only machine guns, you have a new little friend maybe with the rocket launcher. So if you don't have Eyes of Tomorrow, it could be worth trying to do more of those Deepstone Crypt raids to get that rocket launcher, because supposedly that thing is absolutely devastating inside of Gambit and is the new Xenophage. So if you're someone that likes to just troll folks in Gambit with heavy weapons, there you go. That's how you do it now for at least this season. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Let me know down below if this was useful at all, if you guys liked this season, if this is going to get you into the season, or if you're like, nah, I'm good, fam. But whatever it is, just let me know down below. I appreciate you guys all so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like the video, and of course, if you want a clan, join our Discord. That's the first thing you have to do, and we'll get you guys all set up. So we like playing with each other. I have fun with them all the time. Last little bit, I am starting to stream way more often on YouTube. So if you hit the bell, you'll get notified when I'm streaming, and I try to almost always do it with a full group of clanmates, because I think that's more interesting than just me. They're more funny to listen to and watch and just kind of observe, and so that's just something you guys should keep in mind. All right, y'all, I have been Church of Caboose. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. I can't wait to get more content pumped out for you guys. Hopefully some new stuff drops soon so I can give you guys some guides. It seems a little late to the game to do guides right now just because I'm late to the season. But hey, if you want them from me, let me know and I'll probably do it. I am Church of Caboose. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a great week and happy grinding, y'all.